Hey you guys, welcome to a video where I show you guys the stuff that I have 3D printed. So, as you can see, new angle, but I've got my camera set on something now, so I don't have to hold it with my hands, so I can show you guys the things I've 3D printed. So, basically, I've printed a lot of stuff, some of which I have designed, some of which I haven't, and almost half of which is in this Loot Crate Halo ammo can. So let's just get right into here. Let's take these out. Okay, so this was a clock that I started to print, and it didn't go super well just because while all the pieces printed perfectly, like look at these, it's just beautiful. This is actually the hand mechanism here. I got this design off Thingiverse, and I really wanted to print a clock, and I wanted to afterwards design my own. And while that's still a plan of mine, the problem is that up until very recently I didn't have any screws for it, and as soon as I ended up getting the screws, I ended up breaking a little piece off of one of these. I think it might have been this one, but I'll check. I'm not sure where the other side of this is, but I think I broke the other side. But like one of these sort of things came off, so it's going to be a little bit before I can do that again. This is, it goes along with these, and these are a first attempt at something called a cryptex. Now, I may have shown these in the past, what a cryptex is, but it's this. This is a little message delivery device. It's secret, so basically you can't get into it without knowing the code word, and it's pretty smart if I do say so myself. These were the very first attempt at printing a larger one. I did end up building a bigger one, just not this big, for NinjaNuity's brother, Lies of Keel, and he hasn't gotten this from me yet. It's a birthday present for him. So fortunately, I got to show you guys. I'll actually type in the code. I won't show you guys the code, but I'll type in the code so that you guys will type it in, but enter it so you guys can see. There we go. So as you can see with this, each one of the circles around it binds with one of these little key things, and so when you enter the code, it releases it. So if even one letter is off, you'll never get in. So anyway, so this is the smaller one. It's the same principle, but just a different design. You'll see with this one, I've actually got these black arrow things pointing, and so the idea behind this is instead of having to use a Sharpie right there, you can actually just use like nail clippers in my case, or a knife or a file or something to alter one of these triangles so that you can make it point down the line that you want your code to match up with. Now, I designed every single bit of this. I just learned a little bit about cryptexes and how they're made, and then designed it. So I'm really proud of that. Another thing I've printed is a, let's find the old one first. Okay, so I took a jet engine from Kerbal Space Program and printed it, and that was really fun. And then the problem is that the blades didn't come out very well. If you can see that there, that's it's pretty bad. It's really bad. The infill was too thick. This was one of my first prints. It was absolutely horrible. So I ended up with my skills later. I have to print it upside down because if you print it right side up, all the undersides get really wonky. But anyway, I finally used my skills to print a way better one, so you can actually see the blades in there, and it's beautiful, and it's just this beautiful blue jet engine, and I love it so much. Okay, this was an attempt at printing the Getaway from Kerbal Space Program that Ethan made for me, Etobio, and I tried printing it. It didn't come out very well, but I loved that plane and I wanted to give it a shot at printing it. I had to end up gluing the wings on because they fell off, and that was a printing error, not Ethan's fault. And here we've got the start of a mini cryptex that I was printing. It's so tiny, and just for scale, the really small one is this one, and this is the mini one. So I was trying printing that, and I didn't get super far. I'll probably print another one this same size, but end up printing these just a little bit bigger so it doesn't collapse the inner circle. This is a rocket, just like a really simple one from Kerbal Space Program as well. and it's just a few stages all put together. I found out how to move models from Kerbal Space Program into Blender and then into Cura, where you can print them. I also printed a couple finger skateboards. This is the smaller of the two I printed. It was really cute. I got the model from Thingiverse. It was originally supposed to be a build your own skateboard, and I just miniaturized and attached all the parts together. You guys know how much I love trains, and so I printed a train track here, and you can't really see it well, but it's exactly HO scale. So if I had an HO scale train, I could actually run it along these tracks here, and that's really great. And I ended up printing a HO scale train body just for fun, just to see if I could, and I'm really happy with this. That's pretty cool. That also from Thingiverse. I didn't design this. I'll try to tell you if I've personally designed anything. I got into printing with my Kinect, and that means that I use the Kinect to scan an item and make a 3D model of it. And the first thing that I ever scanned was this vacuum cleaner at my house, and it was my mother's vacuum cleaner, and I was just curious about it. It looks like a zombie vacuum because I think it saw through the glass there when it was rendering depth. I think that's what happened, because you can see like the internals of the vacuum in there, and it's really cool. I like it. But the next thing I scanned is NinjaNuity himself. So here we go, and I actually have a print of him now. I gave him one, and I kept the other, and it's really cheap, but so fun to do, just to scan somebody and have them printed. I might end up scanning myself, make one of these of me too, and maybe some other people that I know. It'd be pretty fun. Another thing that I have printed, this one didn't turn out too well because I was still getting the hang of it, but is a little lightsaber, and it's so adorable. It's like Yoda sized, but it's supposed to be Anakin's. I did design this, even though I didn't, invent the lightsaber. It's just based on Anakin's lightsaber design, but I made a lot of mistakes here. I have a bigger one somewhere, but I can't seem to find it at the moment. Hopefully, if I find it, I can just show you guys. At one point, I was trying to design a fan blade system, and this didn't work out super well. I'm going to continue trying, but this is the first iteration, and the blades are so weak because some of them don't attach at all in the model, which is so weird. So it broke off pretty much right away. But yeah, so just a little piece there. And at one point I was trying to print a Lego train wheel because I didn't have any, and it didn't work out very well. I ended up just buying some, but it's worth a try if you can get it for as cheap as that. This right here is one of the coolest items I've ever printed, and this is a tiny 1911 pistol, and it's gorgeous. It's loud, but you can actually use the action on it just a little bit, and you'll see it here. There, and you can actually see into the gun and everything, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's no spring or anything to push it back forward, but you don't need that, right? And then the little hammer here. It was beautiful. And this, the barrel comes out, which is strange, but the thing is that I didn't print it at full size, and I also didn't put any of the pins in it or anything like that, so it's a very loose model, but I just wanted to print it very small because I didn't want to print the full size one. Alright, now you guys have seen these, so this, and now this, right? But not everyone has seen this last thing that I'm going to show you. The second to last thing is this. This is the Halo pistol that I made, and I'm super, super proud of it. I love it so, so much. All you can do is pull the trigger, and then you have to push it back forward with your finger, and then take the sight off. And that's the only actions that you can do with it. You can't pull this action, you can't take the magazine out. You used to be able to, but that's okay. I love it anyway, and it's so great. I love Halo. I love Halo a lot, and this is just, it's so nice to have something from a video game that's full size in your hand. It's beautiful. So yeah, and now the very last thing that I'm going to show you is this, and it's a needle from the Needler in Halo, and it is absolutely gorgeous. If I get probably $60 together, I might print the entire Needler from Halo, and that would be just amazing. I found a model on Thingiverse. This is from Thingiverse, and that's where I usually print stuff from. But yeah, that would be amazing. And just imagine like a needler that's the size of, you know, real life, so it'd be a bit bigger than this. It'd just be great. I love Halo so much. I've been talking about it a little bit. So that's basically everything. I know that I missed a couple things, but if I get a chance in the future, I'll definitely show you guys. But I just thought that you guys would want to see the other stuff I've printed. Really, probably some of the best stuff that ever came out was the clock stuff. It's so fine and precise. And sadly, I didn't design it. But it was very well designed. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do leave a like, and I will see all of you guys in the next one. Goodbye.